Alright guys, welcome back. Over the years, we have had so many Call of Duty games come out with so many different features, and simply put, some features stuck and some did not. As the old saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And with that being said, today we are going to go over a bunch of features that have been tested, tried and true in Call of Duty titles over the years that should stay in every Call of Duty title going forward. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to do this in two parts. First, I'm going to give you my own personal picks for what I would keep in Call of Duty, but then we are also going to read some tweets that I got on Twitter, because I did ask you guys over on Twitter if you could keep any features in Call of Duty, which would it be? And if you're not following me on Twitter by now, man, you're making a big mistake. So link is down below for that. Make sure you follow me there, and do not forget to subscribe, turn on your notifications, and all that jazz before we get into this video. Let's do this. Number one on the list for me, this is a big one. I think if I could single-handedly pick one thing that needs to be in every Call of Duty, this is what I would choose. Unlimited sprint. I gotta tell you, man, unlimited sprint is something that you probably take for granted right now. If you go back and play an older Call of Duty title, man, it is just so insanely slow. We as a community have most definitely been spoiled by the gift, the God-given gift of unlimited sprint in all the recent Call of Duty titles. There are few things more annoying when you were having one of those close games of hardpoint or domination and you were trying to get back to that objective so fast and you gotta just keep stopping because the sprint cooldown's going off. Oh my god, dude, it's super frustrating. Now, there have always been perks to obtain longer sprint times, and in some cases they were unlimited sprint, like Black Ops 1. You had the Marathon Pro perk, which was unlimited, but then on the other hand, there were also games like Call of Duty 4 and then Modern Warfare 3, which had extreme conditioning as a perk, but it wasn't unlimited. It was just about twice as long. I think unlimited sprint is one of those things that every single modern shooter game should have, and if you want some proof of this, just think back to when Call of Duty World War II came out. How slow was that game, man? I mean, World War II had a bunch of problems. It was pretty whack when it came out, but one of the biggest changes they made to the game, and one of the things that made the game so much better, was the addition of unlimited sprint. Next up on the list is the Pick 10 system, and I gotta say right now, man, I don't think there's any normal, rational person out there that would argue against this. Pick 10 is tried and true. It's practically foolproof at this point. All of the recent great Call of Duty games that have come out on this generation of consoles have all used the Pick 10 system, and while I did truly appreciate some developers trying something new, for example, we had Divisions in World War II, and then in Call of Duty Ghosts, we had a totally unique created class system. While they were good, while they were innovative, they were a good stab at it, I still prefer Pick 10, and I think just about all of the community does as well. If there's something better out there than Pick 10, maybe you like the old school created class from like COD 4 all the way up to Black Ops 1 or Modern Warfare 3, then please kindly let us know down in the comments below, but I'm not expecting to see a whole lot of comments going against Pick 10. I think that's really all that needs to be said about that. Next on the list, and almost tying back into number one, but still somewhat different, is fast gunplay. Fast gunplay is something that has really been perfected in COD over the last couple of years, and I think it's gone on largely unnoticed, right? Because it's like subtle change every single game. You realize that the gunplay is a little bit faster in each game. If you need proof of this, go back and play an old COD. Go play something from last gen and you'll realize the sprint out times are crazy long. Reload times are crazy long. Aim down sight time are crazy long. These games just played slower by nature. It was harder to rush around with SMGs than it is now because we have attachments such as quick draw, fast mags, hybrid mags, all this good stuff that speeds up gameplay, and it really helps the game feel fast, fluid, and good. Gunplay is super important to the success of any game, and I'm gonna give a little bit of an unpopular opinion right now, but I think Black Ops 4 has some of the best gunplay we've ever seen in Call of Duty. Yes, the game has a bunch of other problems going on with it right now, but I can't knock the gunplay. I think the guns feel really great in this game, and as much as Treyarch screwed up in other parts of the game, they got the gunplay right, and they got the gunplay right in Black Ops 3 too. You know, that game felt pretty good. Again, using World War II as an example, game launched, the sprint out time was terrible. They buffed the sprint out time, a lot of people started liking the game better. It just makes for good gameplay. Next on my list here, oh boy, this is one that I really feel quite strongly about. We need a normal mini-map in the game. Remember how 2 seconds ago, like literally 2 seconds ago, I just said Black Ops 4 had a whole bunch of other problems? Fog of War, man, I'm looking at you. I do not, dude, I can't, I don't even know where to start. I never want to see Fog of War come back in another Call of Duty game ever again. The mini-map has always just been one of those things that has served the exact same function in just about every game besides Black Ops 4, using the exact same mechanics. Now, I can give Treyarch some credit for trying to mix things up, but as we said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And I don't think the mini-map was an item in Call of Duty that ever needed any type of fixing, any type of innovation, or any type of change whatsoever. Certain things just work and players like them, and we're about to find that out with the next item on the list, which is a normal UAV. You know, Call of Duty Ghosts did a lot of things good. There was a lot of risk taken with that game, and though it didn't age too well and it wasn't the best received by the community, they tried. They did, and you gotta hand that to them. However, with that being said, the SATCOM was easily one of the worst ideas to ever happen in Call of Duty. Again, the same simple principle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think if the SATCOM worked in a manner where you didn't have to have multiple ones of them going at the same time in order to get a normal UAV ping, it could have been great, because getting your UAVs shot down is super annoying, and the SATCOM being placed on the ground combated that. But it was just little minor details like that it just ruined the whole concept of the SATCOM completely. I have never in my life seen an argument defending SATCOMs, and once again, if you have one, please let us know. And honestly, dudes, that's pretty much it for my own personal picks here. I'm a simple man, you know, it doesn't take a lot to please me, but of course I did ask you guys over on Twitter what you thought of this, so let's read some of your replies right now. And like I said, if you're not following me on Twitter, you are making a mistake. Make sure you go follow me over there right now, because we're going to be doing a lot more videos like this where I show your tweets on screen here. First one from my boy Tim over here. Tim also happens to run a great channel here on YouTube, and if you guys like my content, especially my live comms, then you will love his channel. Go check him out. I will link it down below. Tim says 100 health. You know, I gotta say, I've never really come out and taken a hard stance on this topic, and the more I thought about it, the more I think, yes, this is probably the right call. I don't mind 150 health in Black Ops 4. I actually think it's quite satisfying to be pummeling someone with bullets and watching that red bar go down, but ultimately I just see 150 health as being another thing like Divisions or the SATCOM. It's gonna be one of those things that people look back on and say, hey, they tried something different, it wasn't it, chief, and that's that. Let's never do that again. I see a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people on Twitter talking about how much they hate 150 health in Black Ops 4, so I don't think it will be coming back, but I think I gotta agree with this one. Yes, 100 health should be the normal at this point going forward. Next up, these two are from my friends Stefan and Cal, and they say overpowered streaks and many. Completely agree with this. I think that the notion of really overpowered and fun kill streaks are something that directly correlates with the prime of Call of Duty, and the developers have just been missing that lately, and I don't know why. I don't know the reasoning for it. I think Black Ops 4 surprisingly has some of the better streaks now that we've seen, at least in the last couple of years. I know they were pretty lame when they came out, but now the Thresher's pretty good, the Bloop Copter, the attack helicopter, you know, the AC-130's always been good, but looking back on the streaks of World War II, Infinite Warfare, they just weren't that good, man. Actually, wait a second, now that I'm thinking about this, did I just say the Black Ops 4 had good streaks? I just remembered how broken the care package is, how it doesn't land where you fucking tell it to land. Nope, that's it. I take it all back, they suck. Next item comes from Socks and Thomas, and that is a decent community manager with decent communication. What the hell ever happened to this one, man? I mean, God, it's been years since we've actually had a decent community manager and communication on a fairly decent and frequent basis. You know, posting something on Reddit every 2 weeks doesn't count as community management, if you ask me. If these bitches at Activision and Infinity Ward need a decent community manager, they should hire me. I'll be the best community manager y'all have ever seen. Well, unfortunately, man, I think those days are just gone. I mean, how nice would it be to have somebody that answers tweets daily, or that just answers tweets at all? I mean, it's so hard to get a reply from the Treyarch Twitter, it's just not even worth trying. I would do such a better job than they're doing if I was in charge of this, but unfortunately, I just don't see this one happening. Communication has pretty much sucked for years on end at this point, and I just don't see any light in the darkness at this point in the game. Next one here comes from Steven and is no exclusive agreement with Sony or Microsoft. Man, let me tell you guys right now, as an Xbox player, I feel this one in my soul. I honestly think we may see this end soon, because it's only now a week that Sony has everything exclusively instead of a month, so that tells me right there that it's probably not as beneficial as it used to be for either Sony or Activision, and hopefully that means that this is all going to come to an end soon. I don't think it's going to come to an end for Call of Duty 2019, Modern Warfare 4, whatever you want to call it, but maybe 2020, we'll see. Maybe the next generation, we'll see what happens. Next here on the list, a whole bunch of y'all yelling at me. Guys, chill out, all right? Don't be yelling at me about this. I'm just asking a question. The answer is no more season pass. No more season pass, no more splitting up players. I agree with this wholeheartedly. However, just like exclusivity, I feel like they're going to ride this out as long as it's humanly possible. And hey, we're not firing shots at anyone here, but if you bought the season pass, you're part of the problem, man. You are. I haven't bought the season pass, and I'm never buying one again, because voting with your wallet is the only way to actually make change on something like this. So if people are going to keep buying it, they're going to keep doing it. There's only one way to end that, and that is to stand strong, no matter what kind of remastered, recycled garbage maps they dangle in front of your face. And finally, the last suggestion here comes from Ninja Geek. This is a big one. Let's get ready for this. Ready? To launch is a 100% completed game with combat records, lobby leaderboards, 15 plus original map, 20 plus devastating streaks, 40 plus primary weapons, 15 plus secondary weapons, and transparency from the developers, all at launch, not 6 or 7 or 8 months into the game's life cycle. Okay, we're asking for something that could at least be considered some kind of realistic, right? I mean, just imagine how amazing things would be if this were true. I'm just gonna say it right now, this is never going to happen again. It's just not. Every game launches incomplete now. It's not just Call of Duty games. Every single game launches incomplete. Developers have the technology to add stuff into the game after it releases, and unfortunately, they are going to utilize that to the fullest extent that they can. It sucks, it's sad, but that's reality. So that wraps it up, fellas. Those are things that need to be in every single Call of Duty title going forward. Let me know down in the comments below what we forgot to say, and let me know what your thoughts are on what we did talk about, and I look forward to reading your responses. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more awesome, amazing content just like this. Follow me on Twitter, links down below, so you could be in a video like this, and I will see you dudes in the next video. Love you, bye.